Uba bante dorlindo menteri bedekmi yak tanak kamrep kasor karjela ulo ong bau kwai de blasa kynthup kumarep apo Meghalaya State Agricultural Produce and Livestock Marketing Promotion and Facilitation Act arajar arpau. Haba jubab halo kamat etai lingkot bolong ra do dukhot ke yeng dorbar thawai kajela na mausram kutansi uba HM sangpliang hakasi ban riu ko dorbar mangtingka ka khatoi trik luber arajar arpuar halo kajing e kinongrep kwai hakajela uba bantai dor lo ong bakat nat kalasium ikistin jam banya dana kajing pang kiding kwai.
So the topic that I am going to raise, which is of great importance, is related to the plantation of areca nut in Mawsynram constituency and in other parts of the state as well, sir. So areca nut, popularly known as betel nut, is widely cultivated in Meghalaya, sir. The Kahi Kuchi brand or the quality is the most important variety of areca nut that is grown in Meghalaya and around Dauki. And the Dauki kwai is extensively grown in East Khasi Hills and Jente Hills as well, sir. So the farmers in Mawsynram block or under the Mawsynram constituency do not have access to any machinery for taking up any pre-cultivation or inter-cultivation activities, sir. Also, farmers in this area do not use any pesticides or insecticides at any stage of the crop and hence are not dependent on any agricultural input providers. The major problem faced by the farmers in cultivation of areca nut is the high incidence of insect pests and diseases, due to which the yield of areca nut has declined drastically, sir. Areca nut plants are affected with yellow leaf diseases, bud rot diseases, and ganoderma wilt diseases. These are the three types of diseases that is commonly affecting the areca nut trees and the plantations, sir, thereby causing great damage to the crops, sir. So the farmers in the state of Meghalaya are losing 20% of their plants every year owing to senility, wind and diseases. Areca nuts are completely rain-fed and no protective irrigation is provided in summer months. Even harvesting is taken up manually and hence, except for sickles and crowbars, no other instruments or machineries is used by these farmers. So the areca nut farmers do not take any crop loans from banks. It is recommended to invest in training and infrastructure for making areca leaf to encash the economic value of the sheet attached to the areca nut leaves. So the approximate area of cultivation of areca nut in Mawsynram block is about 1,023 hectares, with an approximate production of 926 tons and a productivity of 905 kg per hectare, which is quite substantial and quite large, I must say, for small farmers in our area, sir. Getting 905 kg per hectare is quite huge, sir. So the farmers of Mawsynram sell their products in the local market, in Mawsynram, in Balat, and in other adjoining villages, sir. They also export the areca nut to other nearby states like Assam, and it even goes to Bangladesh through the border huts located in Lalpani. The rate varies from rupees 800 up to 1,200 per kani. They say kani, sir, in the local language. Kani is basically a unit of local measurement for areca nut equivalent to 400 numbers, sir, of areca nut. 400 areca nuts is equivalent to 1 kani. Kani is a Khasi word, sir. So farmers can sell up to 1,000 sacks of areca nut in the border huts per day at the rate of rupees 4,000 to 5,000 per sack, sir. So this is the economics I'm trying to project to this august house, that how much a farmer earns out of 1 sack of areca nut, sir. They sell about 4,000 to 5,000 per sack, sir. So in a year, the farmer can sell a minimum of about 48,000 sacks. 48,000 sacks in a year, a farmer can sell his areca nuts in my area, sir. So even unripe nuts can also be sold for 3,000 rupees per sack. And the demand is very high for these unripe nuts, sir, which are used for industrial purposes. Some of the farmers also lease. They give on lease their plantation for an average amount of rupees 5 lakh per plantation per year, sir. So the market demand of areca nut is very high these days, whereas the production is declining, sir, with every coming year. Although it is considered as a socio-economically important plantation crop, the yield production of the crop, the yield and the production is very, very low, sir. The reason of the low productivity is due to abiotic and biotic factors like heavy and continuous rainfall, poor management of the areca nut orchard, and insect pests like palm weevil, white grub being one of the major problems, sir. So the major problems in areca nut production in this area are as follows, sir. Number one, poor cultivation practices and low yield. Number two, lack of desirable planting material and lack of certified nurseries. Number three, lack of financial assistance from the state department like agriculture and horticulture departments. Number four, there is no crop insurance. And number five, there is lack of irrigation facilities.
In the recent past, in the last few years, what I could notice, maybe other friends, other colleagues of this august house also might have noticed. By being influenced by some other middlemen, our farmers, they are not scientifically much aware. And what is happening is, the farmers, they have to clean the jungles. They have to do weeding at least once or twice in a year in the areca nut plantation area. So instead of doing the weeding manually, some chemical is being used in the areca nut plantation. Then due to that chemical, no grass can grow, So wheat is not coming up. So they are thinking that, you see, I am very updating myself. I am using the technology. I am using these chemicals. Then no laborers should be now engaged to do the weeding. But, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, in turn, what is happening? That means the soil is being destroyed. Not only the grass, not only the shrubs will be destroyed, but gradually it will also destroy the main plantation, the main crop. But due to ignorance, lack of knowledge about the ramification, about the impact, negative impact of using these chemicals our farmers are using. Then whose job it is to look after the future of the farmers, to protect the soil and water? Is there anybody to look after this? No, I don't see. It would have been the duty of the so-called agriculture inspectors to inspect and know what is happening in the ground zero. But which is not happening, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. So it is high time that the government should pull its shocks and protect the interest of the farmers. And in the arecanut plantation, we can do lots of other cropping also. In certain areas, like Bukongri, the farmers out there, they have demonstrated that in the arecanut plantation, they are planting pineapples also. Across the slope of the hill slopes, maintaining the contour of the hill. And in the process, what happened, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir? They are getting revenue out of the arecanut also. They are getting revenue out of the pineapple also. And in the process, the erosion is also being checked. The soil is also being protected. Otherwise, the so-called detached, the topsoil, which is being detached from the soil mass in particles due to raindrop, would have been washed away by the runoff water. And in the process, this along the slopes, maintaining the contour, whatever this, what you call, pineapple plantation is made, that is controlling the erosion. And at the same time, lots of pulses can also be planted. Ginger can be planted in the arecanut plantation as mixed cropping. Turmeric also can be planted in the arecanut plantation as mixed cropping. So these are the things which we should make an approach, create avenues, and create awareness among the farmers, and create viable farming so that our beloved farmers will get benefit out of this.
I do not know what has happened to the mission organic. There was a big talk, and in fact the Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister commended the whole Northeast with a special reference to Sikkim. We embark upon this mission organic program, keeping in mind that by default all our products of the farmers are organic or otherwise residue free, because they are not using any chemical fertilizer or whatever, other natural conditions. What has happened to this is that I was trying to find out what has gone wrong. The lack of knowledge about how organic farming is done is the reason of failure of this mission organic. People who are in the government, they do not have the knowledge of how organic farming is done. This is exactly what has happened, and it has gone down the drain. We are talking about conversion into an organic farm. What has happened? They thought you get a certificate once, then it will remain organic all the time. It is not. First year, second year, third year conversion. After third year, they get certification. They have to follow stringent protocols. These are audited by the certifying agency. After certification of the conversion of the first year, second year, third year, which is followed by, which is actually is after a stringent auditing of the protocol, whether the farmers are following them or not. Then only they get certification. After certification that they are given at the third year, after completion of third year, they have to continue with the protocol. Certification has to continue to come. But even the certificates were not given. I wanted to know why the certificates were not given to the farmers. That means we have cheated the farmers. If I have been told that you follow this protocol in the first year, second year, third year, religiously I followed. Third year I am supposed to get certificate. Where is that certificate? Why has the department not given the certificate? Why? That means I have been cheated. The farmers have been cheated. That's why they don't have the certificate. How do you dare to say that, okay, we are having an organic program? All those organic programs, whatever is now available, is based on the individual effort of the farmers now. Not from the government, not from the department. If the policymakers don't know how these programs are driven, they should learn, they should read, they should find out how it is done. Little learning is a dangerous thing. So with little knowledge, some people are dictating and telling what is not inconsistent with what the scientific approach is. So, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, today, as I speak, we should have been in a position to claim, make a tall claim. Look, this is how Meghalaya is achieved. Empower the farmers through this kind of support. They have inducted scientific knowledge, and they are now capable of taking pride of their produce, and they're getting much more remunerative price. Many of the tea gardens were converted into organic farming. They are receiving a remunerative price, highly remunerative price. This is how the farmers benefit. And this is how we take care of also the food that we have access to on a daily basis. We don't know what we are eating. Whether the vegetable that we are eating on a daily basis is subjected to unregulated use of chemical fertilizers or pesticides. We don't know. But the result is that we'll end up succumbing to diseases. We get diseases which otherwise we wouldn't have got if we were cautious and we knew what we were doing. So, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, this plant nutrition is one inherent component in Mission Organic. Inherent component. Because farmers should not be subjected to buy all the inputs for their plant nutrition. It becomes very expensive. Therefore, in-farm, in-house production of all the plant nutrition need to be an inherent component of any program if we want to support the farmers.
In regard to the request to declare areca nut as an agricultural crop, I would like to clarify that areca nut is listed in the list of agricultural produce and livestock at serial number 21 under Meghalaya State Agricultural Produce and Livestock Marketing, Promotion and Facilitation Act 2020 as agricultural product. As per the definition in the Meghalaya State Agricultural Produce and Livestock Marketing, Promotion and Facilitation Act 2020, and agricultural produce include all produce, whether processes or not, of agriculture, horticulture, apiculture, sericulture, livestock and product of livestock. Forests excluding trees grown on private land specific in the schedule or declared by the government by notification from time to time. This schedule has been approved by the Cabinet recently. This new schedule has specified about is prepared by the Meghalaya State Agriculture Marketing Board with inputs from other allied departments with inclusion of more product from other sectors like animal husbandry, sericulture, forest fisheries, medical plant board. It may also be mentioned that as per the earliest Act, Meghalaya State Agriculture Produce Marketing Act 1980, arecanut is listed in the schedule under Group 6, Serial number 5. However, as per the community listing on the AkmarNet portal of Directorate of Marketing and Inspection, Government of India, arecanut has been grouped under drugs and narcotics. The Government of India is also no longer approving schemes under MIDH or other central scheme for arecanut on the grounds that the crop is harmful to health. With regard to the issue raised by the farmers on yellowing of arecanut leaf, which occurred mainly due to bud rot disease, the district horticulture officers, East Khasiels, along with the subject matter specialized SMS from KVK East Khasiels, have made joint diagnostic visit to affected village on the Mausanram CNRD block to identify the cause of the disease, and accordingly, the control measures are recommended to the farmers for managing the disease. Similar step has been taken up by the other district alongside KVKs in providing technical support by way of imparting training on management of disease and pests. The department has instructed all the DHOs to inspect and monitor the status of the disease over the last 6 months in the affected areas. Status reports were made for each district where arecanut was cultivated, and the percentage of affected areas by the bud rot disease were determined.